Good to hear. So we have one final presentation in this time slot, which is from Sharuare Siddick and Saskia van Viegen, and it is called Translingual Reading Processes and Strategy Use Among Post-Secondary Students. As usual, we'll have a 15-minute presentation and then 5 minutes for questions and answers. And then whatever time is remaining in this discussion, we'll have for additional questions or discussions of all 4 presentations. So when you are ready to start your presentation, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It's me, Sharuare. I have just graduated from York University, and I'm working as a research assistant at Department of Language, Literature, and Linguistics, York University. And I'm working as a research assistant in the project that is translingual reading process and strategy use among post-secondary students with Saskia van Viegen, assistant professor and ESL coordinator, Department of Language, Literature, and Linguistics, York University. And unfortunately, she's not here today, so she couldn't be here. I'm presenting on behalf of her. And as we have seen the title, the translingual reading process, here actually we know that in education, linguistics, and reading research, studies have examined reading process and strategy using first and second languages reading. However, this research operates from a monolingual paradigm wherein L1 and L2 languages are seen as a discrete, working from a monolingual paradigm wherein students' linguistics resources are seen as a part of a singular, dynamic, and integrated linguistic system. The present study examines the reading processes and strategy is of translingual adolescents readers aged 70 to 20 years at post-secondary level.
And if you could put your PowerPoint in slideshow view, we'll be able to see it a little bit better.
Sorry, where should I go? Slideshow means, oh, I see.
Yes.
Should I select, where should I go then?
If you go to the bottom of your page in the orange tab, you can see like a little.
Oh yeah, slideshow. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Record. Share sound upward. There is no option like slide showing like that.
So if you just take your cursor to the bottom, you can see it says notes, comments on the bottom. Do you see that? It's the orange tab.
Orange tab. Yeah, it's showing record.
Notes, comments. You just want to go to the 4th icon you see. And that will let you do it in slideshow. No, to the left. Go to the left. Go to the left.
Yeah, here.
No, that's too far. Just a little bit. You were right beside it. Go more. Go some more. Slide over.
Here.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Slide your icon. Like come to your right. Come to the right. You need to come in. No.
No, on the sorry, on your PowerPoint, not the image. Below.
Yeah,
the red bar below.
Yeah.
Red bar you see on your PowerPoint.
All right, the bar I'm looking.
Yeah. Okay, and then you see notes, comments. Continue on the right, not on the left.
Right.
Keep going.
Continue on the right of comments. Comments, go to the right, not to the left, to the right.
No, I haven't seen. Give me a moment where it is. Oh. Can I?
Well, never mind. Continue like that. We can see that because otherwise you're going to use all your time. Just continue.
Yeah, just continue.
Okay, sorry for that.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, so that and my second slide showing regarding the reading process, that about the reading process, Jim said that the reading and learning is to read the accomplished only once, and that once learner have matured in their ability to read in their first language, that the awareness of the reading process transferred to the second language and doesn't need to be relearned. Thus, reading performance in the second language was claimed to share common underlying proficiency with reading ability in the first language. Here we have scaffolded our understanding that reading process involves shallow processing, that is surface, and semantic processing, that is deep, and comprehension is the goal of the reading, building mental representations of the text that comprise multiple processed word, sentence, and text level. And the lower level, that is phonological awareness and word recognitions and vocabulary knowledge, and the higher level inferencing, working memory, and background knowledge, influenced by text structure and organization. And in terms of adolescents reader characteristics, that here the adolescents language learner acquire advanced language proficiency, allowing them to use language to convey non-literal meaning and participate in academic content learning. And they engage fully in abstract thinking of values, beliefs, and propositions. And they develop advanced metalinguistic ability to verbalize abstract thinking, use language in more sophisticated ways, applied metalinguistics, awareness to a variety of language functions to across content areas. And they also acquire control over the full range of language functions with extensive use of appraisal with critical perspective. And they set communicative goals, monitor the use of various linguistic resources, and they develop their identity as they assume new roles and responsibility in the peer group and communities. And in terms of linguistics and literacy demands, post-secondary educations, that from the scholars we have just gathered this, that it involves reading, writing, thinking, and inquiry skills to learn, develop complex content knowledge, and perform academic text. And it requires ability to address discipline-specific literacy demands, how knowledge is constructed, evaluated, and shared in particular discipline. And it uses range of registered genres and requires writing to be more grammatically complex and conceptually abstract. And as I discussed that the present study examines the reading process and strategy use of BIL multilingual as adolescents readers at the post-secondary level. Knowledge in this area is critically important, both to support the disciplinary teaching and learning needs of these youths, and to generate theories, models for reading that reflects current understanding of bi and multilingualism as translinguaging and translingual practice. So the purpose of the research is to examine the reading processes and strategy or use of bi and multilingual adolescents readers ages 17 to 20 years at the post-secondary level, and to develop and pilot a new Think Aloud protocol for examining adolescents reading for and by multilingual learners to support the disciplinary teaching and learning needs to these youths, and to generate theories and models of reading that reflect current understanding of bi and multilingualism as translinguaging and translingual practice. So following this purpose, we have developed three questions. We have tried to find out the answer of these three questions. That is, how do bi and multilingual students engage in the full range of the linguistic repertoire in reading comprehension, and what skills and strategies are involved in biliteracy reading processes, and what is the nature of these students' struggles and challenges with disciplinary literacy. And we have conducted the exploratory study in the lower division post-secondary courses at one university. And we have recruited students from 5 lower division courses, and we have received 17 survey questions from the students. They have interviewed 17 students and 5 faculty members. And we have collected data from September 2019 to December 2020. And from, as I said, that from the faculty member, we have received different kinds of point of view on translingualism. And the two things I have I'm trying to note and to reflect on, that is their literacy demands and the critical thinking. In terms of literacy demands, the one faculty member shared with us that students do in the finance courses that I teach do have to read, do have to write, they have to integrate, they have to put together complex, and the area I teach mostly now in personal finance. They have to put together complex financial plans at the advanced level. And another professor said that right here, though there is 2 and 3 major streams. One is critical thinking, that is our book, and our critical thinking in the business students. In that case, he said that very structured and systematic approach to the elements of critical thinking, identifying claims and analyzing evidence with a high level of conceptual understanding. And also he shared that they need to set up a critical discourse. That critical discourse is to set up in reading. So we typically pair something from traditional kind of narrow, businessy focus mindset versus something from a critical perspective. This says there is more to the world than just to view the profit seeking and self-interested. So here the professor tries to reflect on their demands expected from the post-secondary students. They have to read and state and comprehend fully to produce advanced level plan. And they also expect full awareness and understanding of academic critical discourse, its structured systematic approach with high critical perspective. And in terms of metalinguistic awareness that we have got from our students from the interview, one student said that I am cause like French, I know for sure, even Punjabi, it's like when you are like speaking and stuff, not really. I can write or read in those languages, but I can speak. It's like the sentence structure totally different. And he said, a cause in English like straightforward, like I'm doing, but in other languages, like I'm not doing. So he wants to say that it doesn't happen sometimes right now, not like the sentence I just wrote, that didn't happen like it does come in mind. Actually, the following course suggests the students spontaneous use of their linguistic repertoire to fulfill their academic requirements. Here, students try to achieve or express clear understanding of the reading text through their repertoire. The students are unable to identify how it happens naturally, but it is evident that it happens even though there are efforts to constrain to the English language. And in terms of lexical strategies, one student shared with us that I try and think of like Punjabi or what come first, and it be English. And it's like more basic and just like I cannot think of the word. Another student said, if I know something in Chinese and economy of scale, for then those three words I am not familiar with, I couldn't write this word and try to memorize. So in that case here, our data suggests that the students struggle to find suitable words in their expression or in their understanding of the processes. They combine different words from different languages to fill up the vacuum. Here we see students struggle to recognize English academic words and types of text. Eventually, they use their multilingual repertoire or literacy to fulfill the academic requirements. This plurality of translingual literacies involve multiple ways of drawing on their language to develop their understanding and comprehensions. It reveals the fluidity of their practice of translanguaging. In terms of concept development, one student shared with us that it still feel like I still feel like maybe my brain is still translating it, and I knew the definition of the French, like climate. I knew what is climate. I feel like I haven't really needed two tools to switch it up. I feel like, of course, complex word will make up the search of words. Another student said, like this kind of content feels harder to like to translate, like the explain to myself, like Tamil, and I can try like understand the question more in Tamil, but something like it then bit hard to understand. In that case, here the students try to develop understanding by communicating with the complex power dynamic broader linguistic hierarchies. In the meaning making process, the student draw on L1 and L2 to make meaningful engagement with the text. The translingual practice takes place here to make sense of the reading text. The drawing on different powerful languages takes place more often when students are not familiar with the word in target languages. Yeah, another student said the same thing, that yeah, because I was trying to think like a specific word translate whatever my brain is thinking, then it's easier for me to think in Portuguese than in English. In terms of scaffolding reading comprehension, one student shared with us that when I was reading like a lot, when I do read, it's like it would be like a mix through, because I like, even though I speak sometimes, it is like a mix of like English and Punjabi. Another student said, I have the better understanding, like able to like define and understanding it, because I would still think of in Punjabi all the time as it's his first language. So these codes indicate the students involve translingual practice in the process of constructing the meaning of the text. The students draw on their linguistic competence to understand and comprehend the text. Instead of having monolingual constraint, students have involved translingual practices by mixing different languages drawn from their cloud multilingual repertoire. And connecting schema and background, in terms of that, students say that sometimes they connect their knowledges with the background knowledges, the context. And students say that using my Chinese knowledge to help me understand or help me grasp, I guess, the context. Another student said, I guess the information of that picture, I have a big picture largely from my Chinese experience. So here the students negotiate meaning by involving the semiotic resources, drawing on their multilingual and translingual repertoire. in the reading comprehension process, translingual practices are negotiating in the meaning-making process. The course indicates that students are contextualizing through recognizing, reconfiguring, and redeploying personal experiences to construct the meaning of the text. And the processing time, one student said, I guess it's time understanding the whole process of the switching. Another student said, I have a lot of time to save by trying to connect with my Chinese experience. It's a processing time because students here demonstrate here using their semiotic resources by connecting to their by switching and connecting to their experiences that happens in their fluid linguistic repertoire. And students try to align with the text to achieve, to understand, and to make the meaning of the text. And mobilizing technologies, and they're using different technologies and apps to translate. And students said, just to make sure I translate everything, just to make sure I don't some kind of simple mistakes. And another student said, yeah, we just like WeChat, and it will show the Chinese, automatically translate the Chinese. Actually, this data indicator translingual practices draws on powerful linguistic hierarchy and they draw from that cloud repertoire. And this regard, technology that helps translate through modalities and media is one of the components used in the translingual process. Students use different kinds of translingual apps to co-construct the meaning of the academic text by using different semiotic resources. And so as the time is short, so I'm going to conclude that what we are in the research, we try our best to find out and to get the answer that what kind of dynamic and functional integration of linguistic resources in the reading processes, and how it engagement with the background knowledge in reading comprehensions, and how students self-directed multilingual scaffolding and reading strategy use, and multilingual meta-linguistic awareness. And in that case, we need to reorient our understanding of how bi and multilingual students engage with reading in English medium courses to shift from a deficit to an asset-oriented perspective, and that sees students as active constructor and agent of knowledge construction. And the persistence of remedial and deficit perspective among faculty, and also need to consider students translingualizing practice not only for productive tasks like speaking and writing, but also for receptive tasks for reading and listening. So in this case, we welcome your thoughts on our translingualism, and we are gonna analyze our data. And thank you very much. If you have any question, please let me know.
Great.